All right, how's it going, independent operators? My name is Vitaly with ITA, and today we have a exciting ITA member update. I'm also going to teach you a little bit about backlinks and SEO, and I hope you guys find it useful. And then I have a special surprise. I'm going to give you guys a preview of a feature that we've been working on, but I kind of wanted to chat with you and see how important you think that this is and whether or not we should continue to do it. I've been having some second thoughts, and I kind of would love some of your input. And I think that we're going to cover some pretty cool stuff today. So we are live. If you are tuning in today on Facebook, please do leave your comments, and I will get to them very quickly throughout this. Please ask any questions. I am going to just mute myself for a second because I have a lot of things going on here. I want to make sure I can see all your comments. I'm going to just mute myself. I'm sorry about that, guys. We are back. Okay, so let's get into it, and I think that we'll cover some pretty good stuff today. Okay, so today's member update, and this is my first time, by the way, using this new streaming software. So I apologize if there's any problems with it, but please do let me know in the comments if the audio's out or there's anything else that I could do to make this experience better for you guys. Okay, so let's pull in the members update, and I gotta change this. Okay. Sorry. I'm using Res Stream, by the way, if anybody does a live streaming service. All right, so today's agenda, we're going to talk about the importance of backlinks and how, what we've done in backlinks and how it's helped us, and some really powerful things that you can do there. And then we're going to preview the ITA's new feature, and then I have a question for you guys as well. And then we'll do a Q&A as well if you guys have any questions as we're going through it. Okay, so let's jump in to the importance of backlinks. Okay, this is one of the top 3 factors used by search engines to determine your ranking in search results, right? So this is super, super important because you could have all of the best content in the world. I mean, you could be writing entire books, right? But unless other sites, other websites are linking in to you and to your pages, search engines essentially don't realize that you have content that's relevant, right? So backlinks are incredibly important, and I'll show you an example of this. This is something that we've done as well. I'll show you some research and studies, but it's really hard as an independent tour operator to build links on your own, because if you're a small site and you're an independent operator and you have like a couple of walking tours, or you have a couple of hiking tours, or you have a boat trip, right? Why would anyone link to you, right? I mean, unless you have like a travel blogger that's coming and checking out, the destination and taking tours with you, it's unlikely that you'll get backlinks just randomly on the internet, right? And so to be able to build those by yourself as well is very difficult. So backlinks are kind of the backbone. You see what I did there? Backlinks are the backbone of search engine rankings, and they signal authority to search engines. If you have a bunch of links coming back into your site, then that's signals to search engines, hey, there's something of value over here, right? Essentially, it's the way that you measure authority online. Okay, so let's run through some quick studies. So I mean, if you Google the importance of backlinks on the internet, you'll see there's just tons of examples. But essentially, what you have is that this is a great study from Backlinko. They essentially say that the number one result in Google has an average of almost 4 times more backlinks than number 2 through number 10. So this is a really interesting thing, right? Because if you essentially look, and there's tools that you can use to check this, but if you look, if you type in a search that you're trying to rank for, right, and you see that you're in the 9th position, you can actually see how many links position 1, 2, and 3 have, and you can try to push your own content up by building links to your page, and you'll start showing up for those search terms, right? So backlinks are super important, okay? And then here's another great study from Ahrefs, which is a leading data platform for SEO purposes. And you'll see that based off of the number of referring domains, so this is the average number of domains that are linking back to you, right? And here is on average, the organic search traffic. So the more links you have, on average, the higher your organic search traffic is going to be. Okay, so here's an example of our site. So we have a site called Tenerife.fun. We do whale watching tours in the Canary Islands in Tenerife. And what I'm essentially displaying here on the top is our organic search traffic from essentially 2018 and 2019. So it's 24 months, it's 2 years. And then on the bottom here is the data that I have from one of our tools called Ahrefs that shows you the referring domains. So we did a lot of link building at the end of 2018, early 2019. We did a ton of link building. Okay, and based off of this chart, you can see it's really interesting is that we did a lot of this activity here at the end of 2018, right, early 2019, and you can see that there's no immediate effect. I mean, there's a little bit. We can see some incremental improvement here month to month, right? And these, by the way, these lines are about 2 months apart. It's not perfect. I just took them from 2 different places, but I wanted to show you guys kind of a benchmark. But you see we built there's like a lot of links that we built here. And you can see that like it took a little while, right? It took a little while, but you can see here's where we started seeing massive gains, right? I mean, we ended up the year, so beginning 2019, well, like under 1,000, and then we ended at over 5,000, right? So a 5x increase in 12 months in our traffic numbers, right? So organic traffic is by far, by the way, the most valuable traffic you can get, okay? Organic traffic is going to be the highest converting based on my own experience. We've done paid ads, we've done Google ads, we've done Facebook, we've done social media, we've done a lot of things. Organic results, consumers trust organic results. Travelers trust organic results, right? Because they're essentially saying, Google, show me the most authoritative and most relevant piece that my Google just lit up. But essentially what they're doing is they're saying like, what's the so here's kind of how this works, right? You could build links and then your traffic increases. I mean, obviously there's a lot more to it. You got to make sure you're optimizing your own on-page content as well, but that's a whole other thing. If you haven't checked it out yet, I have a free SEO guide webinar, free SEO presentation you can watch. It's on YouTube. Just search for ITA, and it'll be on there. Okay, so this is going to be a short one, but I wanted to make sure I communicate the value of building backlinks to your site, right? And right now is the perfect time to be working on this because you can see that it takes time to do this, right? But if you build those links now, then 2021 your rankings will continue to increase. You're going to start getting the right kind of traffic to your site, and you can really improve your chances of success, right? If you work on this now. So backlinks are super important, right? So the reason that I'm talking about backlinks right now is because last week ITA launched the link exchange for its members, meaning that members can now build links automatically every month. And one of the things that we were thinking a lot about is that we need to measure this. And so uh, so actually, let me talk about this real quick. How many of you remember this when you were kids, or if you have kids now, right? And I don't know, but like, remember those little marks that you get on the wall? Yeah, if you remember this, or this is something relevant to you, put a comment in the in the uh, in the notes, or in the chat. I'd love to hear this. But my mother used to do this all the time. I went through this growth spurt. I think I grew like, I don't know, half a meter in like 2 years or something like that. I mean, it was crazy, and um, and you can see that, like this isn't mine. It's just an example, but this was like a pretty important thing that we did in the house. Like every few months, I would stand up against the wall, and my mother would measure me. Yeah, and it's still there today, right? But why did we do this? We did this because growth to the imperceptible eye is not perceptible to the eye. I mean, you can definitely tell. You don't see somebody for 12 months. You don't see somebody for a couple of years. You see them, and all of a sudden they're tall. Kids grow really quickly. You're like, wow, how did you get so big? I don't even remember, right? But in this particular case, we did this so that we can actually measure what was happening, so that we could track it, right? So in growth and in marketing and in the world of digital and in the world of online bookings, if you don't measure it, you can't improve it. Okay? So the reason that we're talking about backlinks now, we're talking about measurement, is because when we started doing the link exchange program for ITA members, we started thinking to ourselves, well, we need to make sure that we can see if what we're doing is successful or not successful. But either way, we needed a way to measure that. We needed to understand, well, okay, if we're going to do this link exchange and we're going to build links, how do we know if it works? And the only way we know if it works is if we measure that, right? So here's where what we started doing is, by the way, these details are all in your ITA members area, right? And so we were going to track all of these results ourselves. And when we started thinking, well, if we're going to track these results, maybe we should give ITA members access to all that data too. So we came up with a pretty cool feature idea. And this is a really important, kind of a pretty cool one. And I kind of wanted to understand if this is even something that we should continue and pursue, and if it's something that you guys would use. So let's talk about the feature preview time. Okay, let's talk about the feature preview that I'm talking about, right? So the private link exchange, by the way, is here in your members dashboard, and it's here in your private link exchange. There's a video tutorial of how it works, what backlinks are, and the instructions, right? So in case you missed the link exchange from this week or from this month, you can join the one that's going to be in November. Okay. So this is what we're temporarily calling the data lounge. What we're essentially proposing is that what we're going to do is we're going to give you your own data dashboard that aggregates your data from all of the services that you use online. Now, this is really cool, right? Because like this is something that I even want for our Tenerife company, right? And so let me give you a quick walkthrough of this. I'm not going to go into like a ton of detail on this because this is a deep discussion for another time. But essentially what we're doing is here we have a domain rating. This is pulled from a third-party service where we track the authority. So this is all so like the data you're looking at right now is live data, and it's coming from our Tenerife.fun accounts, right? So you can see that like our domain rating is 40. We have 1,800 follow links, right? So what we wanted to do is we wanted to track these metrics to understand if the link exchange was making an impact. So we have average position that's coming from the Google Search Console. We have how many impressions are coming from Google Search Console. We have how many follow links this is coming from Ahrefs, and how many backlinks in total, right? We want to start tracking the number of links that you are getting. We wanted to track the number of follow links. We want to track your authority. We want to track how your rankings and positioning is on average, right? And then we also wanted to track specific keywords. Some of you specified in your link exchange details that you had specific keywords that you wanted to target, right? So those keywords are going to get tracked, right? We're going to put each of those keywords and essentially track the position of them. We check it every day, right? The system will check it every single day. It'll say, what are you ranking for now for this search term? What are you ranking now for this one? And then it'll chart it over time and show you that data over time. Now, I just set this up, so you probably won't have too much data, but here's an example: whale watching Tenerife. You can see, I think we started tracking it just a little bit, but whale watching Tenerife, we were 8th, and now we're 7th. So this will essentially show you that data over time, and we'll be able to see if the link exchange and some of the other things that we're doing, if they're valuable for you, right? And if they're a valuable feature for us as ITA to even maintain, right? So I wanted to show you a preview. I'm going to show you. So this is all the backlink data. You can see how many new links that you would get, your website would get on a daily basis. It also tracks this daily. It shows you which links you're getting and the new ones and what the anchor text is. All of these technical details I can run through with you guys at some other time. But I essentially just wanted to show you that we want to track backlinks. Then I also want to show you that this also pulls in all your Google Analytics data. So it'll show you how many sessions you have on your website. If you have on-site search, by the way, this is fully customizable, so we can put any data in here that we want. And I'll give you examples of all the different types of data that we can pull in. But right now, if I wanted to check how my Google Maps listing is doing, I have to go and check that. And then I have to go open my Google Analytics and see how my website's doing. And then I have to open my Instagram and Facebook and see how that's doing. And then I have to open, right? So I have all of these cool digital assets that I control or that I own. But in order for me to understand how they're performing, I have to open up each one of them individually or set up some kind of aggregation tool. Like this on standalone, if you were to get this kind of dashboard tool, this would probably cost you between $50 and $100 a month. But we're suggesting including it just in your ITA membership, right? So that's kind of what I want to understand is, do you want to see this data, right? Check this out. We now have landing pages. I can see what landing pages and page views. By the way, this is only the last 30 days. I can drill down and compare. So I can say I want to see compared to the previous 30 days, right? You have all the access. Then it automatically will also do website audits. So it'll actually crawl your website and it'll tell you if you have problems to fix automatically. I have 0 critical ones, 150 errors. We have some work to do, right? So this is a really great thing, and it actually tracks your score over time. So if you make improvements, it'll give you that feedback ongoing, right? Then it pulls in your Google My Business listing data. So now I can see every day how many times my Google Maps listing has been viewed for my property, how many calls I got. I have no new reviews in the last 30 days because we haven't been going out that often. 12 people asked for directions, though, which is pretty cool. I can see how many people searched and clicked on our listing. And this, by the way, it can be drilled down even further, and I'll show you that in a second. Then it pulls in all your Facebook. It tracks how many Facebook likes you have, what your audience engagement looks like, your Facebook total reach. It shows you audience growth. And then from Instagram, it shows you how many followers you have, comments, and then how many profile visits. I didn't even know that I had this data. Profile visits? This is so cool. I didn't even know that I could track this. So this is a whole new world for me. So that's kind of what I wanted to know. I want to know if you're an ITA member right now, or even if you're not an ITA member already, is this useful? My question really is this useful to you? Or do you not care about data? And that's what I want to know. In the comments, please write if this is useful to you or not. Okay? So in the data lounge, right? We're called temporarily data lounge. I don't know what we're gonna call it if we roll it out, but it puts all your data in a single place and it tracks your improvement over time. So it pulls in data from Google Analytics. It pulls in your backlinks and site authority. It pulls in data from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and other social media accounts that you might have, from Google My Business, from your email marketing tools if you do email marketing. It does an automated website audit for you. It even pulls in data for your advertising campaigns, right? Which means that you can see how many clicks you got going on, how many sales you have coming in, from which channel they're coming in. So this is kind of what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And I don't have that much else to share. I really just kind of wanted to understand from you, give you a preview of this, tell you about the importance of backlinks and why this even came about and why we're thinking about doing this. But I mean, look at this. This is so cool. I'm kind of just curious because I like playing around with it. But I like people viewing. So I can click on this and it gives me an entire dashboard for Google My Business. So I can see how many searches, how many on the map or the search, how many views, how many clicks. It even gives you. I don't have any reviews right now, but if I did like, I don't know, all time. Let's see what it pulls in. No. Let's do last year. I don't have that many Google My Business reviews. My posts from last year and this year. Anyway, we clearly have a little bit of work to do on this because I want to make sure that this is obviously providing value, right? But I wanted to understand if this is something that would be interesting to you guys. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at right now. If it is something that you guys want, by the way, we can set up a bunch of different kinds of dashboards on this. But if this is something that might be useful to you, please let me know in the comments. If it's not, also let me know in the comments. If this is overwhelming, let me know in the comments. If this is like you're just looking at, I don't know, like you're like looking at all this and you're like, it's just numbers. It doesn't make any sense, right? That's a whole other conversation. Please let me know. This is a pretty hefty resource investment for us in order for us to roll something like this out. So I am very curious to understand if this is something that is interesting to you or not. Okay. Again, please let me know. And if you're not an ITA member yet, the charter membership is available, and it's available at travelassociation.org/charter. Okay. I wanted to keep it short and sweet. That was all I had to share with you today. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. I will be here and always available for you. Okay, you can always email me as well at Vitaly at. Let me actually put it. Let me see if I can make this thing work. Vitaly at travelassociation.org. How cool is that? So if you guys do have any questions, if there's any way I can help, please let me know. If you have questions about ITA, please let me know. We are ultimately focused entirely on your growth. We're trying to put together as much content, resources, and tools to help you grow. And obviously, in order for you to grow, you need to know where you're growing from and to. So the only way to do that is by measurement and tracking. So we want to make sure that we can give you those tools as well. So thank you guys all so much for tuning in, and I will see you next time.